Hello everyone and welcome to another Pyro Gaming video. So swords are a lot of fun. They got a buff last season. Well, they got more than a buff. They got a total rework last season. And there's some new mods this season that just make swords even more fun. Now, there's also a couple of new swords. I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the season pass at rank 30, I believe, yep, you have this guy right here, Falling Guillotine. It's basically Dark Drinker from Destiny 1, only it's a legendary. You hit the heavy attack and he does like this aggressive spin that does a lot of damage. It's really cool. You can also get yourself one of these swords from the Umbral Engrams over there by Drifter. This one is basically Boltcaster. When you do the heavy attack while you're on the ground, he throws this big bolt of energy out. It's really neat. I really like it. It's Boltcaster from Destiny 1, essentially. Now the roll that I got on this thing is Relentless Strikes and Surrounded. It's a pretty good roll. I would have rather had Whirlwind Blade here, but Surrounded is okay. It does pretty good damage as long as you have a Surrounded spec mod. But Relentless Whirlwind, in my opinion, is the best damage dealing sword that you can do, simply because you don't need a bunch of enemies around you. Now, once you've picked out your sword, it's time to start pairing some mods with it. Now, as I said, there's some mods that pair really well with swords this season, and that's what we're going to go over. I found a build that is actually kind of nuts. It seriously is, man. You can do so much damage with a sword in such a small amount of time. I was killing the Tribute Hall Ogre in almost one heavy attack from my Boltcaster. All right. That's pretty good. Just that last little bit, man. So first and foremost, from Drifter, his little thing next to him, you can get Lucent Blade. This is in the daily rotation. It was for sale yesterday at the time of recording this video. So keep an eye on the daily rotating mods, and when Lucent Blade comes up, you definitely want to get it. While charged with light, dealing sword damage with a sword gives you bonus sword damage for 5 seconds, consuming 1 stack of charged with light. Now, if you put on an arc affinity specific mod, something that has a little arc logo over here in the corner, then you unlock the bonus secondary perk, which is greatly increases the charge rate for your equipped swords. Might as well go for it if you're making a sword build. Another one that you're going to want to have on, well, you don't necessarily need this one, but it's just super convenient, and that is going to be Swift Charge. This is another one of the mods from this season. Becoming charged with light by rapidly defeating combatants with pulse rifles, sidearms, submachine guns. The reason that this one is really handy is because Recluse, obviously. You can just get charged with light super fast. There you go. Charged with light times 2. You get the idea. It just makes it a lot easier, a lot more convenient. It's secondary perk. If you equip a mod with Arc Affinity, same thing. Secondary perk, defeating combatants with pulse rifles grants a chance to drop special ammo for your allies. It's a good support thing, not necessarily needed for this build. Another mod that I'm going to recommend is Supercharged, another one from this season. You can have 2 additional stacks of charged with light, up to a maximum of 5. The more charged with light you have, the more that you're going to get to utilize Lucent Blade. Now this is where we're going to kick it up another notch, as that chef from the early 2000s would say. I can't remember his name. Anyway, High Energy Fire, charged with light, gain a bonus to weapon damage. Each defeated combatant consumes 1 stack of charged with light. Now, this one and this one shouldn't stack. I don't think that they're supposed to, but if you get your charges with light without this equipped, so I'm just going to use this as an example. Alright, so here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to start without High Energy Fire. And I'm going to go ahead and get 4 stacks of charged with light, because for whatever reason, even though that one perk says that you can have up to 5, it will not let you have 5. At least it wouldn't let me have 5. It would stop at 4. Although now that I'm recording a video, it's probably going to let me have 5 because this game hates me. And yeah. So let's see if we get 4 or 5 here. So we're up to 4 stacks of charged with light. Yeah, and it's not going to let me have 5. Okay, so it's not going to let me have 5. That's fine. So now that we have our 4 stacks of charged with light, you can see it over there on the left-hand side of your screen. Now, well, actually, you know what? Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So let's Surrounded go away. We have charged with light. This is the damage that you do with one swipe with just Lucent Blade, okay? That is 10,398. Now you can see Keened over there on the left-hand side, that is Lucent Blade. So we did 10,000 with just that. So now we're gonna put on High Energy Fire, okay? Come back over here, same ogre, same situation, no buffs, no debuffs. I missed. We did 10,000 without it, we did 13,866 with this. Now the coolest thing about this is not only do they stack, but both of these perks are proccing while only consuming 1 charge of light. Because you're not, I don't think you're actually supposed to be able to stack these. See, in theory, Lucent Blade should take 1 and High Energy Fire should take 1. So each time I swipe this ogre, it should take 2 charges of light, but it is only taking 1 charge of light. With both of them active, you start doing some nasty damage. Now, as I said, you can stack it with a weapons bubble, you can stack it with Oppressive Darkness, a tether, a tractor cannon, whatever you want to do. It's a lot of damage. It is a lot of damage, man. So, pop in a weapons bubble, I got Surrounded active, throw that, this dude has no chance of survival. It is actually nuts how much damage you can get out of this. Now, when I was messing around with it earlier, as I said, Striker's Sure Hand is my favorite sword. Just because Relentless and Whirlwind, it's just, and it looks good. Look how good it looks with that black and green. But Whirlwind Blade gives you a pretty significant damage buff as it goes up. So without anything, we start with 12,000. Let's ramp this up times 5. You can see that we went from 12,000 up to 16,105. So that's about a 25% damage increase. About a 25% damage increase. So with all of our, stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks, plus buffs, plus debuffs, all that stuff, I was killing that dude about the same time I was getting my 5th swing in. It's pretty nutty. So I'll show you again. Remember to take High Energy Fire off. Sometimes it works right if you leave them both on, but it's just easier to swap, man. It really is. Save yourself some time. Save yourself some trouble. Just put it back up later. So we'll go ahead and get this Charge with Light back up to a times 4. Because again, it doesn't let me get times 5 for some reason. Times 4. We've got that on. We're going to go ahead and put High Energy Fire back on. Come back over here. Pop that bubble. Wait, do I have a boss spec on this sword? I do. Perfect. Now, I don't have a debuff, but, I mean, you can see that this dude just... Like, we got up to 29,000. 29,000 damage. We were doing 16,000 without all this stuff. We got up to 29,000. Doing almost double damage. You put a debuff on this dude, you're going to be doing damage in the 30s per swipe once you get it going. This is honestly just such a fun sword build, man. 10 out of 10, would recommend. That's going to do it for this video, guys. I just wanted to share this with you. I thought it was a lot of fun. Drop a comment in the box below. Let me know what sword builds you have been doing, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this one, though, click like. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I fucking love you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.